What is up, guys? This is Team Uberman here, and this is going to be the deck profile for pure
Susanoo. I think this is the better version of. Well, I think it's my personal favorite OCT version like deck as of right now.
because a lot of these people underestimate a lot of these G bosses just because like they're G bosses. But I'm like, once you stride, they're scary. They're not nice.
Even
they're
worse
than their other counterparts.
It's even worse because Susanoo in particular is probably the best OTT boss, just hands down on paper. He draws, he has offense, he has defense. It does it on its own.
That 5K in a crit hurts.
Yeah, it does. It's basically, that's literally just a perfect guard fodder. It forces you to have to guard him instead of guarding Tom, because you can't chest the Vanguard hit anymore. So it's free. But in particular, this deck's all about Susanoo. There won't be any ridiculous other cards in the deck. It's just the deck's goal is ride Susanoo, strike, and take full advantage of how much hand you can get from that.
So it's pretty much like the most, what you consider the most budget version of OTT.
It's the most budget because its stuff is older. I mean, it's not that old,
It's newer,
but it's still, in my opinion, the best. It's actually, I think it's better than Magus, like hands down. Battle Sisters, it's functional, but Battle Sisters aren't as good.
Don't worry, Battle Sisters will hopefully get their support in Fighters Collection, the next Fighters Collection.
We all have dreams. So, anywho, first thing I play as a starter, Imperial Shrine Guard Hahiki. His skill GB1, count +1, put him in the soul. Top 2 cards of your deck, add 1 hand, other card goes in the bottom. So pretty much as what all other cards do is top 2 or top certain number and then add card from hand to a card from those cards to hand and then put the others on the bottom. So pretty much Hahiki has Susanoo's on stride skill, which is really good. You know, you can get the first certain strides you like, kind of what's gonna go, but you can get it all back really easily in this deck. So for grade 3s, I play 4 Supreme Heavenly Battle Deity Susanoo.
Yeah.
Skill GB2. If you have 4 more cards in your hand, it gets plus 5k in the crit. During my turn, if you have 4 more cards in your hand, 5k in the crit. It's a continuous ability, so if I have like 3 cards and I swing and I go 1 in the pass, if I hit like my first, regardless if I have the trigger or not, his skill will put him to 16, no matter what. So he's pretty damn free in that aspect. His on-strike skill is when you stride over him, counter blast 1, look at top 2 cards of your deck, put one from those cards in your hand, and the other one goes in the bottom deck in any order. It says any order, but it's just one card, any fucking way, it doesn't matter. But really good. Builds a lot of hand very quickly. It's almost ridiculous how much hand you can build in this deck. It's fucking amazing. And when you see like the rest of the cards in the deck, you'll understand like why being able to search for you, because this is a more offensive OTT deck, ironically, even though you can draw so many cards. I play 4 Flip Clooney, aka George Clooney. His skill is GB1 Oracle, which is the keyword for OTT. If you have 5 more cards in your hand, you get an Oracle. Fancy shit, whatever. If he hits the Vanguard, like a top 2, at 1 hand, other card goes in the bottom of the deck. So pretty much he has his own on-strike skill on hit, which is really good because he's a Vanguard or rear guard ability. So pretty much once you ride Susanoo, because you're gonna be sitting on him the entire game, you pretty much just call Croonies to the rear guard and just take advantage of how people have to guard this card every turn. He's basically like a Tom without being Tom. He's a Tom that draws.
He's a Tom to get rid of the zeros.
Yeah, it's really good, like really good. I play 4 Amber Clone, Diviner, Kuroi Kazuchi. It's pretty good. Boost, kind of +1, draw a card. Simple. Built hand, more hand, the better. I play 4 Tank Man Mode Beam Cannon.
I never thought Devin would ever play the robot.
I actually was gonna play this card before, but he wasn't viable back then. Now with the Susanoo Stride in particular, he's actually functional. That's the reason why I play him, because he can hit a number higher than every other card in the deck. So I was like, I want to have that option. I might change it, but as of right now, this is the best grade 2. So that's probably the most abusable grade 2 via the Susanoo Stride outside of Tom himself, who is our next card we'll talk about. But just if you don't know his skills, GB1, put a grade 1 or greater card from your hand back in the deck after revealing it, of course, and then he gets plus 5k. Really simple, and you shuffle, obviously.
Helps you from deck out, in case you have one of those long games.
Yeah, and he's for 14 on his own. And I played 3 Toms. You draw so many fucking cards, you don't even need to play 4. Like, you can get him really easily. If you don't know what a Tom is, you probably should be watching this video. Just being honest with you. Vanguard or rear guard skill, when he swings, your opponent swings at a Vanguard, your opponent can't guard with grade 0s.
Real simple. Card that everyone hates. I hate him.
That's why I always play him in OTT if I can fit him in. So for grade 1s, we play 2 Tank Man Mode Morningstar. Skill is reveal a grade 1 or greater card from your hand, put it back in the deck, shuffle, soul charge 1, and then flip it damage. Damage on flipper, simple, stays on the board, it's an active ability, so it's a consistent, reliable rear guard unflipper. Really good. 4 Stride Enabler, get my Susanoo, Stride. It's a Stride deck. What do you expect, honestly?
Yep.
4, probably my new favorite Great One in OTT, Imperial Shrine Guard Sumiyoshi. His skill is that you have Susanoo Grade 3 or greater Vanguard. When he boosts, you may Soul Blast 1, he gets plus 3k. He's a 10k booster to any unit on the field for Soul Blast. So, pretty much, he makes our good old friend Tom here swing for 18.
And Crossride's now fried.
He can be 24. This is 19. Crooney's 21. I don't know, but those numbers seem they seem alright to me. They seem alright to me.
Abusable.
They are abusable, but you'll see that when we get to the strides in particular. And then 4 perfect guards. I'm with perfect guards to be specific because you do Counter Blast a lot in this deck. You only really Counter Blast like 2 cards, but the Counter Blast can add up, so you might as well have the option on flip.
It always helps.
For triggers, I run 12 crit because I draw from playing the deck, so there's no reason for me to draw for anything else. I tried out 2 draws, didn't really need it. The crit puts in more work in the long run.
Yeah.
So you better off playing 12 crit.
And you don't need
deck.
draw because you always draw enough.
I draw every turn I stride. I might as well play 12 crit. And 4 heal because heals. And Logic Magus heals. You have to play this with Sphere Magus because it's like the best heal trigger in the game, most likely. For strides, I run 2 Sword, Auspicious Beast Kieran. Hits, top 2 at 1 to hand. Put the other card in bomb deck in any order. Just more pressure, more hand advantage. You stride him, you call Tom outside, they will take the Tom. Or they'll take him. They'll either take 2 damage or they'll draw a card. Like, their options are pretty limited. 2 Sword Deity of the Thunderbreak, Takamikazuchi. Basically GB2, Counter Blast 2, flip a copy face up. You do top 4 and add 2 to hand. And the other card's gonna bomb deck in any order. He's just there to grab pieces. He's literally just there because the other stride is more offensive, so this is your defensive stride. And 4 of my new favorite OTT stride, Dragon Destroying Battle Deity Kamu Susanoo. His skill is flip a copy face up, and he gets the effect that if he hits you the top 2, add 1 to hand. Other cards go to bottom deck in any order. Then GB3, your entire field gets plus 2k. Most people saw this card, they were like, "This is ass. It only gets 2 plus 2k." Blah 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 blah. Beat my meat and cry, whatever. The reason why this card is good is because it allows this deck to hit dumb numbers for literally no work. So, actually, let me grab my other friend, George, while we're at it. Alright, so Sumiyoshi becomes 10k booster. 10 and 2 is 12. Tom is 10, because it's Susanoo skill as well. So 10, 12, 22. So 22k Tom, that's 22 from Tom, without triggers. That means that Tom is 3 cards to guard and you perfect guard him. Meaning you're probably taking this hit every time.
Why?
Beam Cannon. Put a card back, he gets plus 5. Plus 2 again at 16. Plus 12, 28k lane for no cost, other than putting a card back in deck and flipping this face up. And Soul Blast. So, pretty much free. Even if you don't use this skill, you can call this column, and this column is 22. And if you hit, you get a card. So this stride allows for your entire deck to swing for the necessary numbers to cause your opponent to drop 3+ cards every turn for doing nothing more than playing OTT. And because Susanoo has an on-hit skill, even if Susanoo hits, you still get a card back. So you can still pressure, get cards back, and hit high numbers on Tom, Beam Cannon, Crooney. It just pressures ridiculously. I've been practicing this deck all day today, and I was able to just consistently swing for decent numbers and always pressure my opponent's hand away very quickly. It's the one thing he's never been able to do is hit for numbers. So they finally does hit for numbers. You think this card is ass? You ass. Fight me.
And soon he'll be SP.
I want to get 4 SPs. I'm a piece of shit.
Alright guys, that's what we mentioned there. And that was our Susanoo deck. Stay tuned for the future other deck profiles.
They're all getting deck profiles. All